Here we have old Buster. Just a little bit of a suspension lift and some 31 1050s. I think he looks pretty good like that. The thing is, he's not actually lifted yet. There's a jack under this end. This is just to see what he's going to look like, and I like it. I've got an extra leaf to go in back here, and it will set it about like that. And you can see I just got a jack stand underneath the back holding it up. The other side actually is a lot higher. I don't know if I would want it that high. She ain't setting level, or he ain't setting level, I should say. But it's about the best I got right now. One problem though is, and we're going to try to address that today before I do the lift. Open up the kitchen. Problem is, the countertop needs to be about probably right here. Actually, it was a little high to begin with. It wasn't bad, but now, okay, this is the height of the counter. Now let's put the stove up here. Okay, it's even worse. Okay, now. Stick this little pan up there. And man, that right there is way too high. It needs to be probably about here. So what do we do about that? I'll tell you what we're going to do about that. We're going to make it slide. We're going to make it to where you can grab a hold of it and let it down. See what we can figure out. What I do have is this piece. Let me back up a little bit. This is one of the arms of the awning that I took off of an old camper. What it is, it needs cleaned up because it doesn't slide very good, but what it is, it's two pieces of aluminum that slide together like that. And it makes a good solid track that will hold everything straight, and it will just slide. This is my idea to get the kitchen to move. I think this will work. Now, if it will fit in this way, it will be very nice. It may not. Yeah, it does. Fits in this way. That way I can run bolts through this way to bolt onto either the door or the cabinet. I don't know which one I'm going to use in which spot. Thinking of using the bigger one to bolt to the cabinet itself, and the smaller one to bolt to the door. I have to cut two pieces out that are the same size as the kitchen. See what we can do. After a little bit of cutting, I've got two pieces that are 20 inches long, which the kitchen is 20 inches tall. So 20 inches long will be enough to fit in behind it. And it slides pretty easy. As you can see, I turned around. This piece was like this. Before, I turned it around so that I can just put bolts out through it. So all I did, just cut it at 20 inches, grinded it in two with a grinder. Sawzall probably would have been a little neater, but the grinder worked. This one has the latch. The other one, the latch was broke off of, so I don't know, the handle's actually broke on this one, but I can work with that. Pull that, and you probably see that little thing coming in and out of there, a little pin. Okay, that goes into holes in the side, and it will lock in multiple positions. This way it's actually adjustable. You can lower it down all the way. Go to lower it down that much. It don't need that much. It only needs about that much. But it'd be nice to have the adjustability anyway. If I ever want to put a monster lift kit on it, I'd be able to. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, see if we can get these to go on the back of the kitchen somehow. Taking out the water tank and the pump and all that. Okay, now what we need is there are some screws right here holding that side. There are, well, you can't see them. How about down in here? Yeah, you can see that. One over there. And I have to go through this cabinet probably. One right there. And where this side was heavier, I also had two up here. That's all that was holding it. Now, we're going to take that loose. Kitchen is off of the van. It's completely unmounted. This will show you how I had it before. Let me go in on this side. You can see it was just screwed into the door with these brackets. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Had 2 on this side because the weight of the kitchen, of course, with the microwave and everything in here, the weight kind of pulled it this way, so I had to put more reinforcement against this side of the door. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to add a back on here across. I didn't put a back before. Thing is, I'll have to cut it out down here because I had to cut this out for the fender right here. So I have to cut the other piece up right here and over, but that shouldn't be a problem. But if I'm going to mount it on those sliding tracks, I'm going to have some more stability because it was using the door for stability before. So let's go get us a piece of plywood. Okay, let me show you what all I've done so far. Got one already mounted. And I mounted it where I got the handle on this side. So reach back in here and get a hold of it, hold on to the kitchen, pull it, and then lift the whole thing up. And it should slide together, theoretically. On the bottom, if you notice the door, it has a flat section right here. And then the bottom of it is bent out like this. So, on the bottom of the pieces that slide in here, I had to grind it out so that this will lay against the bottom part of the door. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Right there. That is close to the angle of the door. And I mounted pieces of wood, and you can kind of see the wood is higher than this level, so you can screw stuff to that and it will stay there. But alright, what I want to do, this one, okay. Now see, if I go ahead and tighten this down right now, I won't be able to get this in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in while it will move. Then put my screws in. These have got to be parallel. Okay, if these are not parallel, they'll bind up. So measure. Yep. Right there is where it's got to go. They're perfectly parallel, so it should slide together as one unit. Now, next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of plywood onto that so it all moves at once. Still moves. What I want. This is in there. Bit is not as good as the other one was. Alright, now that should all move. Yep. There's one unit. And it matches in. Now, I'm going to mount this right here, so that there is something to screw into. I'm going to use these brackets. On the top ones, the 2x4 running across the top, I put this on the 2x4. That way this is holding most of the weight. Okay, what we have on the inside is pretty much the same thing as it used to be. It's offset from the wall just a little bit, you can tell. Here's the sliders. They're going to need to slide a little bit, I noticed, to loosen up some. But, alright. Let me take him out here. Okay, for some reason the audio file got corrupted. You can tell the video kind of jumps a little bit here. I'm not sure what happened with that. But you can see the height of the countertop is way too high right there. You can't even wash your hands. You know, you'd have to reach way down. It would be, I mean, you can, but it would be uncomfortable. Now, what you got to do, you got to pull a little bolt out. That's my safety latch. And then pull your latch. Got to wiggle it around a little bit. It needs some grease, but it came right down. Actually came down a little too hard just then, but it worked. It set it at about the right type of countertop height. It's about right. You can get in there, wash your hands. You can get over there and cook. It feels pretty good now. I think I'm pretty much satisfied with it. I didn't get out the stove or anything again, but you get the idea. It works. Of course, it won't shut right now until you lift it back up. But that's fine. It will work for what I need it to. That should do it for this video. Just got to put everything back in and close it all up. That's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you.